ladies and gentlemen.
Hello and welcome to the Worst Talk Show.
The Worst Talk Show.
We named it that way so that you have very low expectations, and we hope we raise the bar just a little bit.
You're pleasantly surprised.
I'm DJ Angie C. That is handsome boyfriend Dave. Hello,
Hi.
Joe Burke. Hello, Michelle.
Oh my
Welsh
goodness.
already here.
Joe Burke is here already. And my cousin Michelle, she's a lovely girl. Hello.
Stands about oh so high.
Yes.
Da da
Very-
da da.
Very popular in my family.
Whatever the hell else you want.
That's it. Michael Maloney, and that's your
Gabby
Maloney.
Lima. Gabby, are you in?
Gabby
Rockville?
Lima's here.
Aaron
Flynn's here.
Oh my goodness, Gabby, it's been a minute. We miss you and we love you. I do get to see your face on the gram quite a bit, but it's not always in English and I can't always read what you're saying.
Gabby, tell me what it means.
I
Tell
love
me,
looking at your beautiful face.
Good evening in the Portuguese.
I think she said it already. I think it was like
Listen.
kind
Okay,
of thing.
howdy isn't.
No, howdy is not it. Boa noite.
Boa noite.
I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm terrible with everything except Spanish.
Is there a zhuzh in there anywhere?
Zhuzh?
Zhuzh.
I have no idea.
That's where like Portuguese starts to sound a little Russian to me. Like it's got that zhuzh.
Okay.
Das
So,
vidanya.
what do you guys think of Dave's Clark Kent, almost Superman, Christopher Reeve sort of
Listen.
curl situation going on there?
Oh man, this is like
Boing!
Ting!
Boa noite.
Boa noite.
Oh. Well, hello.
Joao.
All right, that ends the language lesson.
Gabby, there was a guy I worked with. His name was Joao.
Hey, Nikki T. She likes the curly Q.
And every time I said Joao, he would go, no, Joao. And I was like, no, okay, Joao? And he would go, yes,
All right.
Joao.
Listen, Jerry Moylan's here.
Oh, Jerry, that's a tough one.
Jerry, what do you think of the hair? It's important. I need your feedback. Gabby said perfect, so you pronounced that perfectly.
Thank you very much.
Also, Jerry, I want to talk about your place in Palm Springs and when we can come to visit as soon as the COVID nightmare is over, because your place looks pretty cool, and we'd like to hang out by the pool.
What if we leave now and drive?
And then by the
slowly.
time COVID's over, we'll get there.
Right.
I don't think that's how that works.
We'll do some scrapping in Ohio.
No, we won't. I don't
Listen,
scrap.
I'll boost you over the fence.
No.
You throw me over old car parts.
There will be no scrapping.
Scrappy dappy doo.
No. So we're starting the show tonight, and we're sending out a huge, big, the Worst Talk Show kiss and hug to our brother in arms, Keith Bennett,
I'm not kissing him.
who is usually... I'll do it. It's
No,
totally
I
fine.
mean, look, he probably wants me to, but I'm not going to be that easy.
So Keith is, well, I just found out like a few minutes ago, really, that he was in the ER, and he's okay.
He's
and
on the mend.
He's in a recovering sort of situation, and we just wanted to say how much we love you, Keith, and we hope everything is going okay for you, and please reach out whenever. Big love to Keith Bennett, everybody. And who knows, maybe he can even, watch some of the show from where he's at. We'll have to wait and see.
Jim Pericotti.
Geddy Lee.
Jim Pericotti,
Rhymes
almost
with
on
Pericotti.
cue, answers Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
And
Michael
you know what?
Maloney,
That's a nice tribute.
Michael Maloney says your hair is more of an homage to Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element.
No.
A little bit.
Zerg?
Yeah, with the...
No,
thing.
I like that thing with the clear thing. Where are the stones?
Can we talk about how much we love that movie?
I love The Fifth Element.
Lilu Multipass. I can watch that movie. Like, there are certain movies,
Come on, my man.
anytime they're on, you have to watch, and you can watch a million times.
I got a fire.
Godfather 2 is one of those movies. Jaws is one of those movies.
Big Trouble in Little China is one of those movies for me.
Goodfellas is one of those movies. And The Fifth Element is one of those movies.
Every time it's on.
Oh, and Rogue One.
Blade Runner.
I mean, they're total classics. Melanie Cousin,
Melanie
hello!
Cousin. She's not even my cousin, and she's watching.
Joe Burke says you look more like Shirley Temple in The Good Ship Lollipop.
Listen, Joe?
No, Jerk Joe Burke.
Listen, it's okay if you find me attractive, Joe. I'm not offended. Okay? You little freak.
Jerk Joe Burke is just in his natural habitat, being jerky. Nikki T. Keith is like your Paul Schaefer. What? Oh, he is. He is kind of like our Paul Schaefer. Allison Amundsen. We're not worthy.
Welcome.
We're not worthy. I love you, Allison. Mwah. Please give my love to the whole family.
I have yet to meet you, but
Sean
I'm very fond
O'Reilly's here.
of you.
Listen, as soon as this crap is over and we can travel, we are going to LA to meet the LA family because nobody has met Dave yet. Well, a few people have, obviously, because they've come back for different
But
things.
they keep
here
it to
and there.
themselves.
We
Ugh.
got to get you into the LA
Ugh.
family. So listen, Sean, our chef in residence, I'm going to need some input from you later because I cooked
Keith
almost...
Bennett is watching.
Keith is here! Yay! Keith, we love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Anything you need.
Attaboy.
Anything you need. Dave was afraid that, you
That's
know...
all. Hey, listen, he thinks Geddy Lee. Look at
Yeah.
you. Already got beat to it. Somebody was paying tribute to him.
Yes, we were paying tribute to you earlier because we weren't sure if you were actually going to be able to watch us. So we're very excited.
Jim Pericotti said Geddy Lee.
We owe you big hugs and kisses when we get to see you in person next. Lord knows when that's going to be. But we are here and
listen,
we are hugging you.
You steal us a couple of dogs or whatever. You know, whatever. You don't have to do much. I like boxes and anything with like a smush face.
Tonight is the Keith Bennett show, really. We're just going to talk about all things. So Elvira and Geddy Lee. And,
oh, wait. Linda Carter?
Linda Carter. What else can we talk about? That, obviously.
Left-handed bass players?
Lemmy.
Lemmy what?
We could do a whole show about Lemmy.
We could do a whole show about Lemmy Swartz.
Christopher, it's your first time. Yay! I'm very happy you're here, Christopher. Round of applause. Thank you. Keith says he's hiding in the bathroom. So
Please don't get in trouble. Please don't get in trouble.
You know, people have watched us in secret at their cubicle, like in Vegas in another time zone because it's earlier there. And they've watched us like while they're driving in the car. I mean, we don't recommend that obviously, but
You know what really makes me uncomfortable? When someone watches me eat a sandwich, and it's like a big sandwich, and it's like messy, and I'm like, mowing, I'm just trying, listen, I don't want a big bite, but I want to get some of everything. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
Yeah, and people stare at you like you're some sort of a circus freak. And
How did that loop into what we were talking
oh, I thought we were
about?
talking about people watching you.
No, we're not. Oh my goodness.
Oh my good God.
So, welcome to the show, episode 15. Can you believe it?
Can you believe
Thank you all
it?
for being part of the live virtual studio audience.
Carrie Post is watching.
Hi, Carrie. Listen,
Back
when
home.
the actual show gets put together with this stream, your comments, especially if we're talking about your comments specifically, will show up on that television screen. And we are already in 10 different markets, and we're just getting started. So
Yeah, we're
check
in
your
Star
local
Market.
listings.
Purity Supreme. What is it? AMP.
Listen, it's
Johnny's Food Master.
It's community access television, but we'll take it. If we were on the closed circuit at Market Basket, I'd be thrilled. So here we are. What we like to
I
do
think
is
we could get booked on that.
we like to talk to you about things that we've been watching, things that we've been listening to, and things that we've been cooking and eating, because during these times, that's what everybody wants suggestions
They need
on.
ideas.
And we are your idea people. Also, we watch some stinkers so you don't have to, which we'll get to later. My goodness. It was a mixed bag this week.
Some people are just hot.
Oh. So, first thing we wanted to
Bob
tell you
Tarassi's
about.
here.
Oh, hi, Bob Tarassi. So, obviously, the first thing was Keith Bennett sending out the love to Keith. And then we wanted to say that we voted by mail.
We voted
did
by
it.
mail. Guess what? We brought it right to the post office.
To the point where I was even, like, he was like, oh, we can just put it in the box that you can drive up to. And I was like,
Yeah,
it'll go directly into the post office.
I wanted to hand it to the guy with the Trump button on. And you were like, no. Bring it over here.
It was on Sunday.
It was like a trash barrel.
So
that we
the
threw it
post
into.
office was closed, but the lobby was open for the P.O. boxes, and I was insistent that we get it into the slot that goes directly into the mailroom because I didn't want to leave anything to chance. Am I insane for doing that? I felt like I really, even though we're not necessarily in a place where they'd wrangle away our votes. You just never can be too careful, and I wanted to make triple sure that our votes were going to get in the mail properly and counted. And
nothing
I
left to
already
chance, right?
looked up Bill Galvin, right?
William Galvin.
Bill. You go on his little mass.gov website.
He is the Secretary of State.
Track your ballot, and my ballot has been received, and it will be counted.
You? What about me?
Well, you have to look up yourself.
I folded mine.
David, I do enough for you already. You can look up and track your own ballot. It's called ballot jump up. That's when you jump up and track your own ballot.
It's called vote and jump up. You jump up and vote.
Oh, Jerry Moylan, you did a voter drop box in California. Already scarred. Oh, already scanned and approved.
Yeah,
okay,
good.
Okay. California.
Did you see those the Republican jerks?
We don't want to talk too much about that because this is supposed to be a respite from the 2020 dumpster fire. So we just wanted to let you know that we voted and we were very excited about it. So there you go. So let's get on to what we've been watching. I have a new show I'm obsessed with, and Lewis Warren. I'm not sure if you're watching yet, but I think you were the one that suggested this to me. It also could have been Jim Pericotti as well.
So do they get a finder's fee or anything?
Well, they just get a gold star for the week. Nosferatu, NOS482 on the license plate.
Bonnie?
Auntie Bonnie's here.
I mean, really? I picked up on that. I'm no slouch. So Nosferatu.
Mike Moloney said
take it away.
He can't stop looking at your curl. I love it.
If we're in a what the hell are those things? They go in the thing and the thing and the it's a roller coaster.
Oh, I'm like the Tilt-A-Whirl from the Salem Winnels. Okay, so Nosferatu is a 2-season show. I think it got canceled after 2 seasons. It's from AMC. The first season was free on Hulu, or free with your Hulu, included in your Hulu package.
Who knew?
So I was like, I kept going by it. It was in my saved box of stuff I wanted to watch, and I kept being like,
Yeah, Nosferatu.
Finally,
really?
and I was like, I'm not really in the mood for a vampire thing. This is not really a vampire thing. First of all, it's based on a novel written by Joe Hill.
Who's Joe Hill?
If you don't know who Joe Hill is, his real last name is King, because he's Stephen King's son. Stephen King has 3 kids, by the way. Did not know that until recently. And at least one of them, other than Joe, is also a writer. Isn't that cool?
Jesus Christ.
2 boys and a girl.
Blaze your own trail, for Christ's sake.
Well, that's why Joe went by Joe Hill.
It's not like my dad was a carpenter and I went on to... Oh, shit.
So, it's very much in the whole Stephen King universe of things.
Who's
There's even like a nod to Pennywise at one point. But it hit all my sweet spots. And I was like, yes! So if you're looking for like a sci-fi fantasy, it's horror-ish.
There's nothing sci-fi about
It's sort of horror adjacent.
It's fantasy horror.
Yeah, because I don't normally like horror.
And what's the main bad character?
Jerry Moylan says the first episode was horrible.
Mr. Spock.
I'm telling you, it gets so much better. I'm totally in love with it.
I'm having my own show over here.
The guy who plays Spock in the Star Trek reboot is the bad guy.
Is it
Charlie Manx?
Jeremy...
No, we fought over what his name was the other day.
I was like, it's like a
we
Portuguese sounding
totally
name,
wrong.
and you were
he
like...
was in Heroes, and he was in...
Oh, the final episode was terrible. Thanks.
Oh, Jerry, I haven't watched that yet. Hello? Don't ruin it.
Yeah, no spoilers, dude.
So, but here's the funny thing. It's kind of like a drug dealer where your first taste is free. So the first season, I was like, yeah. And then I went to watch season number 2, and it's not available on,
Zachary Quinto, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have Jeremy. Zachary Jeremy, that's why.
He plays the perfect nut job.
And don't tell me that Quinto isn't Portuguese sounding.
Okay.
Look it up.
I believe you.
Gabby.
Gabby, can we get a fact check on that?
In fact, I think Quinto sat behind Gabby back in school.
Really? Okay.
It's alphabetical.
Yeah. Lima, Quinto.
Back behind.
Sure.
Yes.
All right. It works. It checks out. What? It checks out.
Yeah, I know. Judges?
I just really liked the show, and I liked it so much I had to have season 2. So I did one of those. I'll try a week free trial for AMC Plus on Apple TV Plus. Yeah, sure. So now I'm trying to get through it all so that I can cancel the free trial because Mama is on a budget, and we just don't have any more money for any more channels on the Apple TV.
But I like television.
The original silent version has a soundtrack by Typo Negative, and it's still one of the greatest movies ever made. Oh, Nosferatu.
Yes, Nosferatu,
This
the old one.
This isn't really
no relation at all. Sapping the life from.
Yeah, if you want to cut, like he is a vampire of
in a way
sorts because he does sort of pull the life
force out
children
of
to keep himself alive.
But he doesn't
It's not
actually bite them. Hey, wait a
Did
minute
you like
now.
my Nosferatu face there?
Speaking of Nosferatu, and the more classic one,
Yes,
last night, after watching Haywire,
we'll get to that.
wait a minute, after watching Monsters, I watched, like, I hadn't watched it in a while, 30 Days of Night.
I don't even know what that is, honey.
It's based on a comic book.
Okay, is it another zombie thing?
No, it's about vampires. But check this out. Barrow, Alaska is the northernmost town in the United States.
So ultimately
Okay.
that's where vampires would go.
So this is how it works. There's a date where the sun goes down and doesn't come up for a month.
Okay. So that's where they go to parties?
They have a party. There is a ship, like a tanker ship, a big ship.
Okay, I'm just going to stop you, honey. Synopsis is not the same thing as I'm going to tell you the entire movie. Brevity. Give us a tagline. What is the movie? It's blah blah meets blah blah.
Yep.
That's where you need to go with this.
People trapped with vampires on the rampage. There you go.
Right. Perfect. By the way, you definitely stayed up too late last night. You watched way too many shows. I went to bed halfway through Haywire, and you watched 2 additional shows.
Let me tell you
after
something,
that.
guys. Haywire.
Okay, so
Steven Soderbergh.
we love Gina Carano, who plays
Gina
Cara
Carano
Dune on Mandalorian. If you
Is
guys
my
don't know
secret
who she is.
girlfriend.
And that's fine. I'm fine with that, honestly. She is a smoke show. She's a thick girl, and she could
beat the snot out of you.
kill you with her thumbs. Like, she's really, like, a force to be reckoned with. So he's like, hey, there's this movie, Haywire, came out a few years ago. Gina
It didn't do
Carano's
really
in
well.
it. You know, I'm not sure why it didn't do well, but let's watch it. And
This
so
is what it is, though. You see a movie with an MMA star, and you're like, oh, God. But wait. Steven Soderbergh directed it.
okay, so let me just stop you right there. First of all, Jerry wants to know if you like Dark. He loves Dark. He cheated on Dark without me, and now I have to go back and watch all of them.
See, but it's like the what do you call it? The lip
They
syncing is
overdub,
freaky.
and I
dubbing.
hate the dubbing. I'd rather
Yeah.
just watch them
Oh,
speaking
and you know what's really
and read subtitles.
here's a hard thing for you. It's a messed up thing. Okay, we've grown accustomed to having the closed captioning because, you know, I have tinnitus, you have tinnitus. You know, we want to be able to know what the hell they're talking about when it's low.
But that's not why we started doing it. We started doing it because Kendall, the 16-year-old in the house, was watching everything with subtitles, and we were
And
like,
we
what are
made
you
fun of her
doing?
at first, like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? Wait.
And we catch, like, you really only catch 80% of dialogue.
And then when
unless
you're
you're
reading,
reading, you have the backup right there. It's kind of amazing.
it's like,
So, getting back
what?
to this movie, Haywire, we're like, okay, Steven Soderbergh, Gina Carano. Oh, Michael Fassbender. I'm like, ka-ching.
right.
Channing Tatum. I'm like,
What?
ka-ching. Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, Michael Douglas.
Ewan McGregor. Like, it,
What?
it was like this
Oh, wait. The late, great Bill Paxton.
plays her dad. So
Right?
I'm like, how can this many amazing people be in this movie and we've never heard of it?
And who was that other kid who was on I'm Dying Up Here?
Something
Michael-
like Angeramo or something.
Yeah, right?
That's
He's a little
weird
Italian
last name.
kid. He's a good
Yeah,
kid. You know.
he always kind of plays that kid that gets picked on or whatever, and now he's grown up and
Right.
he's great. So we start watching it. The fight scenes are amazing, and the rest of the movie, I'm like,
Yeah, it's like It's like Ocean's 11 with
Terrible.
no funniness,
Oh my god.
nothing to laugh at.
I was like,
Not
did
enough
somebody-
interesting characters.
Did like somebody else edit the movie and they started with one movie and ended with another? Man, it is amazing. You can
The
have
fight scenes.
you can have amazing fight scenes. You can have an amazing, stellar A cast, and the movie can still be a stinker.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tell you to just scroll right past
Listen.
Haywire when it comes up in
Now
your
wait,
streaming
I
choices.
say, guys, the fights are worth checking out.
Wait, what are you talking about with Paul Lynde as the mayor, Jim Pericotti? You need to. The comments disappear, so we have to go back to that. I want to know where Paul Lynde played a mayor, and I want to know now.
I can't remember that.
Can you do a little Paul Lynde?
Paul Lynde wasn't the... Well, I don't know if I can. I'm telling you guys, the villain, live action Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Margaret, Michael Douglas's dad, Kurt, as the bad guy, Cactus Jack Mulligan, and a cameo by Paul Lynde himself
Nice.
as the Indian chief, Nervous Elk.
Oh, that's right. So Jerry says don't watch Ratchet. So we did watch the first, maybe the second episode because it was so beautifully shot.
Love you, Keith.
Love you, Keith. Thanks for checking in with us.
You got this.
We love you. The Nurse Ratched, sort of looks great, but after one or two episodes, I never went back. It's just not
I
really.
don't know, I mean-
don't know. I loved Ryan Murphy's last thing, the Hollywood thing. Loved it, like ate it up. But this and the
Jerry
horror
Moylan
story.
is snoozing.
Yeah, because
Oh, Ratchet?
yeah.
Well,
It's beautiful to look at.
Listen,
the
without
color
McMurphy, what is
saturation
there?
and everything is great, but I was just kind of like,
I don't want to look at all that green. God damn it.
There
there's
was a lot of green. A lot of green. So we also watched, I've been watching The Bastard Executioner, which was this weird, like, one-season show.
It's an
based in
FX show.
Sort of a medieval times, but it was Kurt Sutter from Sons of Anarchy.
So it's
And,
like Sons of Anarchy in the Middle Ages.
Not really, but what's-his-face is in it way too much, the singer there, the ginger.
Oh my God.
What's his name?
He's in anything that's English and
He shows
Eddie,
up in Game
Ed
of
Sheeran.
Thrones, and we're like, oh,
Ah!
yeah,
And
Ed
he's-
Sheeran.
Oh,
Ed Sheeran has a regular role in this, so I should have known
oh
better.
my God.
And Katie Segal plays like this mystic witch chick.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't even know why I bothered. It was canceled after one season, so
But wait,
you can
she hung out
save
with
your breath
a
on
terribly
that.
burnt
Yeah.
Templar Knight.
I will say this about that show: the violence was extra violent.
Crazy
So
violent,
That's
guys.
what you need. That's cool.
If you wanted to see like a beautiful young girl get her nose cut off and see the whole thing,
Yeah, no.
yeah, that's the show for you.
So that's another one to avoid. And then Dave and I sort of split this week and watched a couple different things. You watched the new Jude Law HBO Max.
The third
show.
day.
I had
Guys,
no interest
opinions.
and I left the room.
Opinions.
Has anybody watched that yet on
Listen,
HBO Max?
I had the what do you call it? I was mistaken. I prejudged it. I was like, oh, another version of the Wicker Man.
Yeah, and as soon as you
Okay.
said that, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, it's not.
Don't tell everybody what it's about.
It's not.
Okay.
It's got cool people in it though. Emily Watson's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Patty Considine's in it.
Yeah, he's great.
Jude Law.
I love me some Jude Law. I just
Yeah,
had
no,
no
there's some
interest in this
cool
show.
people in it.
And I've been watching The Vow on HBO Max, which it's funny. I was talking to Kat Corbett about this show last week, and she said that some friends of hers were laughing at how boring this cult was. Like, it was the most boring cult ever. And it kind of is. The show itself has a very slow pace to it. But the fact that this creepy dude was able to manipulate all these people into giving him their money, and also like all these beautiful women sleeping with this troll and getting his initials branded
on
their
him.
nether region.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my god. And there's going to be another documentary
It's
on
empowering women.
on this cult on another network too. So we haven't seen the last of it.
Look at Tachi.
Kevin Tachi, another virgin was sacrificed. What? Listen,
Kevin,
Kevin, when you're late to the show, that's
Tachi,
what you get.
can you put it in the notes for me to have you killed? Thanks. Appreciate it.
Anyway, so I've been watching The Vow, and it's both like hilariously slow, and also your mind is just blown.
But I love to see Catherine Oxenberg.
Yes, well, this is the whole thing.
I like to see her miserable.
Catherine Oxenberg, who you remember from Dynasty, as well as being an actual royal, her daughter gets swept up in the cult because Catherine takes her daughter and herself to one of the first, meet and greets or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I think I'm all set. And the daughter was like, more!
Wow!
And so
where do I go to get branded?
She spends the next several years doing Sally Field and Not My Daughter, or whatever the hell that show was.
Oh
and it's almost like, well, Catherine's got a new career ready to go.
But the coolest
Very
thing is,
weird.
the coolest part of the whole thing is Catherine Oxenberg is on the phone with her mother, who is Princess Stephanie or Princess Catherine?
Yeah, whatever. She's the princess, and she's cousins with Prince Charles.
Like, yeah.
So she, at one point, says, can you...
Catherine Oxenberg's like, hey, can you speak to Charles about this?
She's going to speak to Cousin Charles about this, and you're like, oh my god, they're talking about Prince Charles. Okay. So that is always fun. Their show should be set in England, but all the actors are American doing British accents, just like every American. I don't know where you're
What show? Is it the third?
You might be back on the
The
Bastard
third day?
Executioner.
Or the Bastard Executioner, right?
And that is kind of true. Although Jax, yeah, everybody in the American stuff he did, they were almost all not American. Kyle Smolenyak is here, straight from Las Vegas.
Rhymes with Smolenyak.
So other things that we do need to talk a little bit about Saturday Night Live. And no, I don't want to get into the Bill Burr thing because we've already talked about that on Facebook. Stop doing that. You make it bounce and then people get dizzy. Keep your rock to a minimum. Jack White on Saturday Night Live did the most perfect tribute to Eddie Van Halen.
Very subtle.
So subtle, so small, in an otherwise incredible set.
Bill Burr was excellent, in my opinion.
I did not like Bill Burr.
He says one thing that she doesn't like, and that's it.
No. The first joke was, I'm a 52-year-old guy. I don't know what pride is. You know what? Go F yourself. That was not okay to say. And then he goes into this whole white women stole woke away. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I understand that you're trying to be controversial, and I do love a lot of stuff that Bill Burr does. That fell flat for a lot of people. I'm one of them. I didn't even want to get into it. So thank you for that.
I don't care.
No, we just want to.
I don't care. I'm an almost 50-year-old guy. What do I know from you not wanting to get into stuff? I'm over here just trying to, have a show.
I know most of you are going to agree with me on that one. Bill Burr just laid an egg in that monologue. Sorry, he did. Some of the skits were great, some of the skits were terrible, but Jack White was amazing, and he was a last-minute replacement. That's what kills me.
Right, because
the
some
original
jerky
country guy.
Yeah, didn't want to wear a mask around.
There was video of him at a party not wearing a mask like days prior or whatever, and they were just like, well, you're not following the rules. We're going to go get Jack White instead, and then nobody will ever know who you are.
Have you ever seen a drummer with the drums almost facing the crowd?
It was amazing.
And he's beating on the drum set that way?
Everybody talked about his drum placement. It was
now,
perfect.
here's the thing. You might not know about the tribute, okay? But Jack White, the second song they did, he came out and he had an Eddie Van Halen model guitar.
Was that the blue one?
It was blue. It had 3 covered humbuckers on it. They were like EMG, like active electronics.
Oh, wait a minute. We got to frame this. This is Dave Geeks Out About Guitar segment.
So here's the thing.
Dave Geek Guitar.
So you, if you don't know anything about Eddie Van Halen's guitar brand, okay, it doesn't look like this. It doesn't look like that at all, okay? But if you know anything about his brand, you know that that's an Eddie Van Halen guitar. And then on top of it, during the song, he's doing a lead, and he goes up on the fingerboard and starts tapping. And he only does a few taps, a few notes.
It's very subtle.
And then he goes back to the song.
But it was so perfect.
Oh.
I couldn't get
Wait
over
a minute, ready? Mwah!
Chef's kiss. It was the classiest thing I had seen in a long time.
And then
one of my top probably 5 performances for SNL of all time. It was soup to nuts perfection.
After Prince.
Yeah.
Prince is probably number 1.
Elvis Costello.
Listen, I know you're not a big fan because of the whole Scientology thing, but Beck was awesome. When they had the band of marionettes on the side.
I don't have a problem with Beck, and he's not even in Scientology anymore.
Oh, he didn't tell me.
I just like to
He
tell
didn't tell me.
I like to burst people's bubbles about that stuff. Oh yeah, you love him.
Nikki T agrees with me.
Nikki T agrees with you more than she agrees with me, and that's okay. She loves Bill Burr. I did love Bill Burr. I really thought those 2 jokes were a real stab in the dark at trying to be edgy, and they just fell flat. And
but I
he
don't
could have
think
done
you-
better.
I don't think you see enough Bill Burr
done.
to know that, though.
I followed him on Twitter. I would see him every day.
How about
now I unfollowed him.
what was it? The King of Staten Island?
Yeah, he was great.
He's
a great actor.
Great.
If you haven't seen King of Staten Island, definitely rent it. It's pretty good. Ellen is in the house. What up, Ellen?
What? Where you been?
You're a little late to the party, but better late than never. Other things that we watched, Next. We started watching Next.
Okay, listen. AI.
What channel is Next
Out of
on?
control.
Like, what streaming?
I think it's just on... No, I think it's on FX.
Okay, so we watched it on...
Or it's on Fox.
Hulu Live.
It might just be on Fox.
Yeah. And who's the main guy? It's the guy, Slattery from Mad
John
Men.
Slattery?
John Slattery, the
Okay. So
white-haired hottie.
He's the Steve Jobs type guy. Okay? Or he's more of a rebel. You know, he's been fired from his own company.
It's a great little twist on HAL from 2001, basically. The AI is you know, they wanted to shut it down, it didn't, and it became self-sufficient, and I guess the world's going to end, and we'll see what happens. But it wasn't bad, and I look forward to watching more episodes.
Well, I'm very glad you are.
Again,
because
I
you know
have
what?
to stop you because you
They're
want to tell
watching
them
us.
everything.
They're watching us.
Yeah, well, we're all
Be
being
nice to
watched
the
all
AI.
time. MK Kelly!
I love computers and robots, yeah.
Yeah, so Roger Sterling is kind of the main dude, John Slattery from Mad Men, and he's kind of cool to watch.
He's pretty cool.
So, next, if you're looking for something new that's sort of a thriller and not really sci-fi, because we're only like minutes away
Yeah,
from,
we're like a half hour away from
Skynet
that.
becoming,
Yeah.
what does Skynet become?
Self-aware.
Self-aware, yes. Lovecraft Country. Now it's been very uneven. I will say this episode.
MK Kelly is watching.
I already said hi to MK Kelly. Where have you been? Yes.
All right. I wasn't watching.
And thank you for the selfie love today, MK. That was very sweet. So Lovecraft Country, this week's episode, they travel back in time, or to, you know, it's more of a multiverse thing, but they go back to the Tulsa Massacre.
1921.
And Black Wall Street, which is something that most white Americans had never even heard of, maybe in passing with the Black Wall Street a little bit.
Yeah, you heard about like Rosewood, they made a movie about that.
Right, but the Tulsa Massacre came into everybody's living room with Watchmen on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
And
as the preface for the whole thing.
The way that it's filmed in Lovecraft Country, you really feel like you're in it. And you're seeing what's actually going on, and it's devastating.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It's devastating, but it's like a must-watch. I feel like everybody needs to know that actually happened, and that we're not that far removed from stuff like that now, and it's just really So, all right, we're gonna move on. Auntie Bonnie, John Slattery is her celebrity crush. She says for us old ladies, Bonnie, you're not. So we also, we didn't watch The Repair Shop much this week. Our beloved Repair Shop.
Yeah.
However, Dave, in the spirit of The Repair Shop, offered to do a repair. Dave, take it away.
Here's what happens. I do various projects out in front of the house. I don't have a workshop.
For those who don't know, Dave is a carpenter by trade.
So, we got a free grill a couple weeks ago, and it had some issues with the wheels and stuff. Really nice grill. So I want to do like a base on it.
Yeah, Sam Avola.
Right? Thanks again,
grill.
Sam. So I'm out there doing stuff. I'm always doing stuff, right?
He's
I did your father's door.
He likes to tinker.
I do stuff, and
and
people are
he
driving
likes
by
to
and
build
whatnot.
things.
All right? And our neighbor from across the street, he's an elderly gentleman that used to be in advertising, actually.
He was like a madman.
Right.
Man.
So we chit-chat about the Bruins and stuff occasionally. We wave to each other. He's always on the go. The guy's like pushing 90 years old. And he's
Very
always...
sweet.
Yeah, super nice, you know? And he calls me Davey.
Which is hilarious because nobody's allowed to call him Davey.
Except my cousin Joe.
Yeah.
Right?
And I feel like this guy lost his son maybe 10 years ago.
Not even.
Not even. And I know that Dave fills just a little teeny part of that, like, you know, when he gets to have those chats with him. So
right.
it's a very sweet thing. So Dave decides.
So you know, our neighbor goes, "Hey, Davey, come on. Do you think you could fix my table? Come on over and take a look at it."
So what kind of table is it?
Okay. So it is an oak. It's an oak table from. Oh man.
Is it a kitchen table?
Oh no,
no. Dining room table.
It's a coffee table.
Okay.
Okay.
Ellen, you didn't know Dave was a carpenter?
It used to have a glass top, and at one point he fell through it. Now this time, a couple weeks ago, he fell and smashed this oak table.
Well, he's 80-something. I mean,
right. He lost his balance or whatever. Okay, but this is the table that he eats at every night to watch TV, much like our table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Hey, can you fix it?
Hey, Sandra.
I'll pay you whatever whatever you need. I'll pay you. You know, any materials or whatever. I got it."
Sweet neighbor Bob asked you just to fix a coffee table.
But
sounds okay, right? So
right,
far,
right. But while you're at it, you know, I'd really like it to be shorter. Okay.
And why does it need to be shorter, Dave?
Because he can't move it when it's 4 feet plus long. But 3 feet, he feels like, hey, that's good.
Because right now it's kitty cornered against the couch,
It's pushed up against the couch hard.
So nobody can come visit him and sit in the couch
unless
he's able to move the coffee table.
He sits in the love seat, the L, right? The coffee table cuts off the whole other couch, and the TV's on the other end of it. So people can't come over and visit and hang and watch TV.
So
because the table is up against the couch.
So
now
his whole social life depends on you, Davey.
And I wanted to say, but Bob, why don't you just pull the table away from the couch like every other coffee table in America?
But no, Dave's a nice guy.
But I couldn't. He's an octogenarian, and he fell like a couple weeks ago. Who am I to tell him anything? Right?
You can just shorten it, Dave, right? Like, that's not a big deal.
And I'm like, and at first I was like, I'll glue it together, I'll clamp it together, it'll be good. Okay, look.
3 hours later.
He destroyed it. He snapped it, like, he snapped 2 of the legs and 1 of the sides off. And it's the long way. It's not the short way.
Yeah, it's bad. Hey, Lauren.
I got to take the whole thing apart. It's major surgery.
So something that was going to be a little Sunday afternoon project is still sitting out in the workshop area.
But wait. It rained this week.
It's Wednesday.
I'm trying to do other stuff. And like I said, it's major surgery. Like, it's oak. So it's not like, oak is hard. So you're like, I got a chisel and I'm trying to scrape, there are some lap joints. You know what I mean?
It sounds just like an episode of The Repair Shop.
Isn't it? Well, I wanted to send it over to the kid who specialized in furniture. Because now I'm like, son of a bitch. Anyway.
That's what happens when you're nice people, just so you know. Maybe next time, just don't say anything.
And I got a phone call from Marblehead today.
Uh-oh.
And I was looking at it and I'm going, oh my God, he's calling for his... Like, how come my table isn't done?
Well, he lives across the street. He can see where the table was. There's a tarp over it right now.
Oh, it's so sad because Listen, it's a golden oak table. And there was a company that was out like 20, 30 years ago that built furniture for like kids, but it was like you could drop a bomb on it and wouldn't break it.
So this is
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This is like that. It's modern oak furniture. There's almost nothing to it except 4 legs and a top. It's bolted together, but you can't. The nuts are up inside the wood, and you spin the leg up into it.
When that happens.
And wait, he must have got bored or something at one point, and he thought he didn't like the look of the table, so he would spruce it up. So he painted the table red.
Yeah.
But he missed like the inside of the legs, the whole underside of the table, and part of what he painted it in, I think, is barbecue sauce. Because
I was gonna say it's red nail polish left behind.
Listen, he eats at it every night, and then I'm like, nah, I got this, brother. I'll take this. Oh man, I really appreciate it, and I want to do something nice for this guy. He's such a nice guy. You know, when we first moved here, he was like, hey, listen, you want to know your way around, you just come to me, and I'll tell you.
Sweetheart.
You know, the best coffee is up at the. Don't go to Dunkin's. Go 2 doors down. It's cheaper and it's better. The best bagels are at Bagel World. You know what I mean? That
we
kind
know,
of thing.
Bob. But yeah.
So
Dave has bitten off more than he can chew, and now he feels terrible.
Because I was like, you know, it'll take me an hour or two, and I'm like 3 hours into like with the Japanese pull saw trying to cut this oak. You know what I mean? Like I gotta get these things nice because it's Bob, and I want to make it nice. But now I'm just like, oh Lord. Why
Kevin
did I do
says
this?
painted with barbecue sauce, so he's an artist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not wrong, just not a good artist. So stay tuned for next week's Repair Shop with Dave, the good guy.
Listen, it'll be done. I'm probably going to finish it up tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll post some pictures. But I just thought that was kind of hysterical. So, Sean O'Brien, if you could please get close to your device. Normally, this is the time where we talk about food. I mean, we haven't really talked about what we listen to, but it's not a lot. So I just want to get through the food, and then we can go back to what we listen to. We've been sort of eating and making all the same things. So the sautéed cabbage until it's caramelized for everything.
It's delicious, but
it really is delicious.
It's nothing new.
Yeah. And then the broccoli cheddar soup, because the kids love it. We've been making a lot of that.
Yeah, just because the kids love it.
And, well, because it's easy, really.
Oh, I would inject that into my veins.
Somebody has become a full-fledged Henry's chicken salad addict.
I can quit anytime I want, Ann!
Not possible. Every time he goes to the store.
Anytime I want, I can quit it.
It's almost like the bottomless chicken salad container, because every time I open it, it's full again.
It's magical.
It's magic. It just
it's filled up again. This is like you buy it for $10 and it just keeps filling itself up.
We're on such a budget. Buying $10, like 1 pint of chicken salad for $10 should be a crime, and yet it is delicious. So
and listen, we're kind of on a tight. We don't just eat whatever. You know,
no, we're trying to eat a lot of protein and very little carb, obviously, with all the cabbage noodles that we're making. So, but I wanted Sean to pipe up if he could, if he's still here. He might not be, because he is our sort of resident chef. If he made anything cool this weekend, and I kind of feel like he did, and I saw some pictures of it.
Yeah.
So if Sean can pipe up, that would be great. And if not, that's fine. We can go back to the things we listen to. So we'll just put a little pin in that until
Ellen
Sean pops up.
Cannot eat anything with mayo in it.
Really,
I feel sorry for you,
Ellen.
I feel sorry for you.
Ellen, is it a texture thing with the mayo? Oh, okay, Sean, here you are. I know that Sean is also a personal chef, I believe, and so he made some things, and I just wanted him to talk about it because the food looked really great. And I always love all the stuff that Sean makes.
It was like fall, so there was butternut squash involved, and like some other stuff. And I was like, I want to eat that. Yeah,
and everybody needs new ideas for things to cook and eat right now, especially with the weather getting to that point.
We should maybe get ourselves some gourds.
It is decorative gourd season.
No, not decorative.
I don't eat gourds, honey.
You do.
Spaghetti squash, that's it.
Right.
It's the only thing I touch. And that's because it resembles pasta.
You proved yourself wrong.
I guess so, but I don't like butternut squash.
He's all about winter
like
squash now.
Oh, he says he's all about the winter squash these days. Okay, it's not my jam, but please continue. My mom used to do the squash, and you just take the top and roast it with like maple syrup. And you would think I would like that. Yeah,
you
I
mean
said
maple syrup?
It's syrup.
Hey, listen, it's not Syracuse University.
It's syrup.
It's Syracuse.
It is texture, and how it looks reminds me of something gross. Ellen, yeah, mayo is not for everybody. Oh my Ghourd, says Jim
Ghourd.
Ghourd. This is perfect weather for crock pots. It's really difficult not to want to just put something in a crock pot and like have it like the smells waft through the house
Have
all
it just
day,
simmer?
and then you eat it. Like, I think we should do some beef stew soon.
Just simmer?
Yeah. Beef stew sounds good. I'm not a chili fan, but
Jerry Moylan.
we could definitely do some
That
chili.
was it. It was chili rellenos.
Oh, okay. It was squash soup with pepitas.
You know what pepitas are, I guess?
Yeah, but they're like little seeds.
They're
but
pumpkin seeds,
yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
They gotta be roasted.
I like that. So Bonnie did that. So any sort of suggestions for everybody else on what to cook and what to eat this week?
I have a question for everyone.
Yes.
I have a question for everyone. Seeing that we're off the carbs, I've been going through the Dunkies drive-thru to get my my cold brew. They have what is called the ghost pepper donut.
Yeah, I saw.
Has anybody tried it yet?
I saw the the local news folk.
Oh, Jerry
talking about
Moylan,
it.
cornbread chili pie.
Mm.
Oh my God! She doesn't
Sean
eat
O'Brien's
beans.
spaghetti squash primavera is so wonderful. I love spaghetti squash. It is my jam. Thank you very much. And super easy to do. You just cut it in half, pull out the guts, a little EVOO, salt and pepper, put those bad Larrys upside down into a roasting pan and roast away.
Speaking about bad Larrys,
Yeah.
Phil Fleming's watching.
Hey, Phil, it's nice to see you.
Howdy, Phil.
Hi.
How you doing?
Been a minute.
Glad you're here.
I don't eat legumes. That is true. That is not my thing.
But she'll say it when I ask her to.
I don't like the texture of the skin and then the mushy inside. I will eat hummus. I like mushy peas, but I can't eat peas. It's just a weird thing. It's not. There are only two things I really don't eat: legumes and melon. Everything else I'll at least like soldier through if I have to.
Jerry, somebody like us does not need carbs.
Yeah, we
carry our own carbs around with us.
We have enough carbs. I mean, I'm not 100% off carbs.
What's in the oven right now, Sean?
I'm eating fruit. What's in the oven right now? Is it spaghetti squash? I bet it is. Oh, Bonnie says hamburger soup with tomatoes and carrots.
I tried that once, but it was just when I spilled some water on my burger.
Bonnie, we're going to need the recipe for that, thanks. That sounds like a good idea.
You'll drive onto people's lawns. I do that anyway, dude.
Donuts on your lawn. Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. Name the song.
I'm sorry?
Bitchin' Camaro, bitchin' Camaro. I ran over my neighbor. Bitchin' Camaro, bitchin' Camaro. It's in all the papers. No? Really?
My dad is the mayor? What? I don't know.
Donuts on your lawn. Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. So that was it for the cooking and eating program.
It's
really.
been kind of boring eating-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
We'll have
I do want to say one
spruce
thing.
it up a little.
I have discovered my new favorite Greek yogurt.
Okay.
It's
that I bought for you?
It's Cabot. Okay? I think it's got like 10% milk fat in it. Right? It's a full fat one. No sugar. It's plain. But when you scoop it out, it like sticks to the spoon.
This strange Greek yogurt is the greatest thing of all time. I don't like regular yogurt anymore because of it.
Man.
And I also substitute it in things that take sour cream and stuff for recipes, which
Genius.
It's nice and tangy. It works out well.
Tangy.
I did do a new thing. I actually went to Trader Joe's and waited in line to get into Trader Joe's because I had some extra time this week. And I bought the everything but the bagel seasoning. Now I know they have a dip like that where they mix it with like cream cheese and sour cream and stuff. But this is just the seasoning, so it's an everything bagel seasoning. And Kendall and I seriously did cut up celery with cream cheese on it, and we hit it with the everything but the bagel seasoning.
So that's where all my celery went.
2 thumbs up! Oh, there's another package of celery in the bottom drawer. I forgot to tell you.
Oh, I just bought it.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought I bought it for you.
No, I didn't.
I'm getting old. Jim Pericotti, I miss Faye. All everyone cares about is 400 flavors of Chobani. I prefer Faye as well. Thank you.
I gotta tell you.
But you like the Cabot, yeah?
Cabot, it's Cabot Creamery.
Yeah, it's just...
Don't even get me started about the vanilla bean.
Well, that's
it's
got
like,
1,000 pounds of sugar in it. Yeah,
it's
so
the best tasting thing, right? But making smoothies out of the plain stuff with the, what is it, Wyman's frozen berries, the miniature little wild blueberries.
Miniature.
Oh my lord!
Yeah, he's been making a lot of smoothies. He likes to wait to use the blender right at that pivotal moment when I'm watching something and I suddenly can't hear anything.
I look around the corner and I'm like, oh, this looks important.
Ellen said she bought celery this week too. Love cream cheese mixed with dill relish. All right, I'm going to leave that right there. I'll come back to it.
Yeah, but she won't put mayonnaise in her mouth.
Celery is a swizzle stick for Bloody Marys. Yes, we no longer partake in the alcohol, but a Virgin Bloody is my jam.
I'm telling you, celery is meant to be a vehicle.
I love celery salt as well.
It's a delivery system for peanut butter.
I actually like celery in a lot of like soups and stuff and sautés as well.
I think I have you beaten.
Okay.
There is a celery soda. They have it at Evans Deli.
Yes, in Marblehead, if you so choose. If you have a few extra dollars to spend.
There's a company. It's like I can't remember. Not Dr. Pepper, not Mr. Pibb. Okay, but it's celery flavored soda.
Yeah, I took
it's
a sip
interesting.
Of it. It's okay.
It's interesting.
It wasn't really awesome, but
I wouldn't buy it.
I
normally.
do like celery salt in a good Bloody or Virgin Mary. I also wanted to talk just a little bit about music. We listened to a lot of Van Halen because, we were still on the Eddie tip. But I went down a huge The Sonics rabbit hole. If you haven't listened to The Sonics in a while, do yourself a favor. It's so good. And the fact that it's like the precursor to anything like punk rock, really. Right just before the MC5, I think. And the Stooges, like just before that. But it's in that garage band vein, and it's so good.
Phil Fleming said that he tried Brussels sprout soda.
Oh no!
Now see, look it.
That's
we love
okay.
Brussels sprouts.
I don't want it in
love
soda.
Them roasted.
I don't want carbonated Brussels sprouts. That sounds terrible.
I don't want carbonated cabbage like baby cabbages.
Also, if you're already getting the gas from the Brussels sprouts and then you have the carbonation on top, you're like a lethal weapon, especially in this house. No, thank you.
Oh man.
Woo! That's not good. I did want to hit just quickly. This is Sean O'Brien agrees. The Sonics. Thank you. Dr. Brown. Celery soda. Of course,
Dr.
Nikki
Brown.
T knows it. Thank you, Nikki T.
Yeah. She's a connoisseur of fine sodas.
I love our fact checkers on the show. They're the best.
Dr. Brown.
Who said something about George Skoubutis? I'll have to go back and look at that. He was awesome. He was one of the best. 10 years ago today, apparently, was my first ever selfie. Like taking a picture of myself and posting it on social media. And it came up in my memories today, and I reposted it because, I am the selfie queen. Although you don't see that many these days because we're in the middle of,
Plus you're kind of
2020.
You're kind of giving up the Facebook thing.
I am trying to wean myself off Facebook completely, and we will eventually flip the show over to YouTube.
Excuse us, guys.
For the live stream. But in any event, so a selfie that I took and posted 10 years ago kind of saved my life, and I just want to tell you why really quickly.
Last night a selfie saved my life.
Last night a DJ saved my life
from
a broken heart. I had, 10 years ago, I was in the middle of a marriage that was failing, and the thing when you're in that situation, you don't realize your self-esteem is gone. It's like a slow leak in a tire. You don't realize you're leaking until it's flat, right? You don't realize there's a problem until the tire is flat. So I didn't realize my self-esteem was gone until it was completely gone. And I was very depressed, and I was in a very bad place, and really felt like, oh my God, I have, am I going to be single again? What is that going to look like? And how come people can't see what I see when I look in the mirror? Because up until that point, anybody posting pictures, somebody else took them. And if you were lucky, maybe they were taking the photo while standing on a ladder and shooting down at you for the chubby girls, you know what I'm talking about. But it didn't happen often. And anytime somebody posted a picture and you're tagged in it and you went and clicked on it and went, so selfies were the way for you to control the angle and the lighting. And so that's what I did. And I posted a picture that I felt I looked pretty good in. And everyone was like, yeah, you actually do look really good. And it was one of those things that just sort of started my very slow climb to build back up my self-esteem. And that's why I never give to anybody. Sorry, you're going to have to censor that out.
I mean, you've already sworn like 3 times.
Selfies, don't ever give anybody crap about selfies. You don't know what they're going through. That's that. Hey, Kelly, what up?
But what about duck lips?
I definitely did duck lips. I'm not going to lie.
You did like a...
It happened. Once or twice. I mean, it's kind of addictive. So we're wrapping up the show. I did want to at least talk a little bit about the selfie thing, but that's it. So I post it every few years just to sort of remind myself that I should never get that low again, but also to remind people who are freaking out that maybe their teenage daughter is posting a lot of selfies or something like that. It's not a vanity thing. It's just not. So just let them do their thing and have their moment. And you are also kind of king of the selfies. When I first met you on the old Tinder, you had a lot of selfies. And most guys, when they take a selfie for Tinder, they take it while they're sitting in the car. And so the phone is so far down that it's the worst possible angle. That was the one good thing about dating online, is most guys looked better than their pictures because they didn't know how to take a good selfie. This guy, I was like, why does a male model want to date me? I was like, what's going on?
It's more like 2 male models. Come on.
What do we say about the selfie?
Ah, damn it!
It's the best.
I've already ruined.
And the best lighting. So there you go.
I've already ruined everything.
Sean O'Brien says, you are lovely and special, and that picture is adorable. Thank you, Sean.
Cat ass?
What, Jerry?
Jerry Moylan?
I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm sure we'll go back and look at it, and
Cat ass?
it'll all make sense. Oh, that's the duck lips, maybe. I don't know.
Loose steel?
So thank you guys so much for being part of the live virtual studio audience. Jerry says, ducks don't have lips, more like cat sphincter. Well, thanks, Jerry. And that's going to be our show today. Make sure you check out your local listings, community television. We are all over it. 10 different...
We're everywhere.
10 different markets or, areas. I listed them already, like Vermont and P-Town and lots of the South Shore, and we haven't even really pitched the show yet for more community access channels to pick it up. So ask your local provider to pick up The Worst Talk Show.
Listen,
and then
we're not that heavy.
You get to watch yourself in
We're
your
not that
comments
heavy.
on television. We have a television show now. What do you think about that? And we wouldn't have it without you. You guys make it what it is. So thank you. We love you. And our hearts, once again, and hearts, minds, and love go out to Keith Bennett. Get well soon. We love you. You got this. Thank you. Good night, Bob Tarasi and Jerry Moylan. We're coming for you.
We could be.
Palm Springs, baby.
We could be.
We're coming. We're coming. We love you guys. Will you hit the button
do
for
the
me?
thing?
Will you hit the finish for me?
All right, hold on now.
Oh, we're getting some likes. Eat up those likes. All right. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Bye, everybody.